Well guys, we got a bit of an issue. What's going on guys? Welcome back to the Regular Guy Garage. So an issue has not really arisen. I've always known that it had this problem when I finished building the engine, but the oil pan gasket has been leaking ever since I put this engine back in the car. I think the main reason is because I didn't use any RTV, especially around some of the sharp edges around the main journals and stuff, kind of where it does kind of the half moon thing or half circle or whatever you want to call it. And it looks like, at least mainly in the back of the engine, the oil is just seeping from there. I thought maybe it was a rear main seal, but it's not, because inside the like bell housing where the clutches and everything is bone dry, nothing on the inside. It's all coming, it's dripping down the back of the block plate. So I didn't want to have to do this, but being that the transmission is having issues anyway, I'm gonna pull the transmission out of the car, take a look at that. And then, I don't know, I don't want to pull the engine out of the car, but I have a feeling I'm going to end up pulling this engine back out of the car. Anyway, let me get the car back up on jack stands, again, for the millionth time, and let's start taking stuff apart and see what happens. So the reason that I'm doing this, I'm sure you can see that stain right there. I just parked this car here last night, so it's really only been sitting here for a few hours. Hasn't been running, and I mean, it's just continually leaking. So unfortunately, yeah, we just got to suck it up and get that thing fixed, because we can't be laying down, one, we can't be leaking oil, and two, we can't be laying oil down on the racetrack when we finally do get out there. So first off, I'm gonna drain the coolant, take out the radiator, take off coolant hoses, stuff like that. All this stuff, I wanted to keep the car an AC car originally when I was kind of doing everything, but now I'm just deciding to get rid of all of it. So air compressors going, all the AC stuff going, these lines going. I'm taking out anything and everything that is not needed under the hood of this car. I'm gonna clean up all this wiring. It'll give us a lot more room, it'll look better, and then it's gonna save us a lot of weight. I'm gonna start by removing the battery. This is gonna go back in the trunk. It doesn't need to be up here. It'll take a little bit of weight off the nose, get some weight in the rear. Also, it's gonna free up a lot of just room right here. It's kind of just cluttered. I got more than enough. I can get, some cable, more than enough stuff, not worried about it. We're gonna get this thing out of here. All right, so I got the car is back up on jack stands. Got the antifreeze out. Started taking stuff out. Now I got the battery tray out, got radiator, and then I just took my Sawzall and I started cutting the stuff that is not going to be going back in this car. So the decision has been made. We are going to just make this thing a dedicated drag car. I really don't have a desire to be driving it on the road. I love driving my F-250, and I don't really want to drive the Foxbody that much on the road. I will still register it as a street car, but what I'm saying is, like, I'm not gonna be dailying it or driving it a whole bunch. It'll be car shows every now and again, Mustang Week, stuff like that. But primarily, I want to race this car. So that is what we're gonna be doing. Be getting rid of all this stuff. The AC is already out, so I mean, things like this, which is already unplugged. All this stuff can come out. It'll make the engine bay look pretty. Not only that, it will save us some weight. Granted, this isn't going to really save us anything, but at least the condenser and all the other parts will. Charcoal canister, pretty sure, I don't even think that thing's hooked up, so that'll go. Yeah, pretty much anything and everything. Finally, I'll be able to clean that up. That little rat's nest that I just never really got to. I know you're probably thinking, like, Dan, you are absolutely crazy. You just finished this thing, it's not even tuned yet, and here you are ripping it back out of the car. Well, I do a lot of crazy stuff, and my reasoning was, just this oil pan leak plus the transmission. I can't really do anything crazy fun with it anyway, because I have to full body weight hold the transmission into second gear. So, if I'm pulling that out and I'm gonna be, down for a little bit, because that's gonna take some money and time to fix, I might as well at least pull the thing out, fix the oil pan, which some RTV will fix it, no problem. Maybe the oil pan, actually, it was leaking before, so maybe the oil pan's no good, so maybe I'll just source a new oil pan. And then, I mean, aside from that, like I said, stuff that's just not gonna be used. Like I had to hack up the harness to get the Terminator X in there, so I'm just not even gonna hook the AC back up. I don't feel like, you know, trying to mess with it and put it back together. I don't care. Additionally, what I would like to do, what I'm gonna be doing, this hood, don't like it. So that's gonna be going nice, small, subtle, 2.5-inch cowl hood is more than likely gonna be going in this. And then front sway bar coming off, don't need it for a drag car. The rear sway bar is already off, and I wanna do a K-member. So I wanna do a tubular K-member. I got the Team Z shocks in the rear, and I'm probably gonna go with the Team Z K-member too. It looks, you know, it's got some pretty good reviews. A couple guys run it, plus it's, you know, relatively cost effective. You know, this is you know, this ain't gonna be no crazy, you know, 4-second drag car. We'll probably be in this, you know, when I'm done, the 6s, you know, hopefully mid-low 6s. I would love to hit a 590, but I don't think it'll go that fast. It's definitely not going that fast with the current setup. You know, but as I build and grow this car, I would love to get it at least down into the 5s pretty regularly. And I would like to do it by keeping it a manual. I did want to go get like a C4 or something like that, but I love rowing gears. Like I said, I'm not chasing records, not trying to break records. I just want to build a fun, fast car to mess around with. So for now, I'm going to finish unhooking what I don't need. I need to get this wiring harness unhooked and get everything laid over here, and then get the oil out of the engine and prep the engine to come out of the car. You know, it's not going to be, aside from the oil pan, nothing is getting done to this thing. The thing runs great, you know, as long as I don't see any bearing material or anything in the oil, we'll be good to go. All right, so plugging along here, have the pretty much entire top side of the engine taken apart, ready to go. I just have to disconnect the fuel lines, which I'm going to do tomorrow. I don't feel like doing it right now. And then I can get underneath the car, disconnect the exhaust manifold or the headers. And what else do I got to do? Drive shaft, well, transmission's got to come out, but I'm only pulling the 4 bolts, so the bell housing is going to come out with the engine, so that won't be too bad. All right, guys, so fast forward a little bit. We got the engine coming out again. Not sure if that, not sure if the rear main seal is leaking because there was some oil on the input shaft of the transmission, but we'll see. And okay, yeah, I got all the ground straps out. I'm trying to do this without taking the hood off because I'm lazy. All right, so we don't have any oil in here. What I was seeing on the drive shaft or the input shaft for the transmission was just a little bit of the grease that I used there. Dry on the inside, so that means our rear main seal is fine. I'm not even gonna pull this clutch or anything off. Even looking inside, there's no oil on the inside of this bell housing. And yeah, you can see there's no oil in there. However, you can see it leaking down right there. So almost positive it's this, whatever this oil pan gasket is, just leaking down. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you guys could see it, but it's right, essentially right there. All right, guys, so everything looks pretty good so far underneath. No issues. I didn't really see any, you know, bearing material outside of the norm, and I think this chunk right there is the reason why we were leaking oil, because this is right from this spot right here is where we were leaking. So that's probably it. I took the bell housing off just to check, make sure everything's dry as far as the rear main seal is concerned. Everything looks fine. Just that oil pan gasket where that little chunk of, it was like a stick or something. I have no clue how it even got there. That's really the only spot I saw. So I mean, outside of that, we're back to square one. So being that we're gonna be waiting on a transmission, you know, it'll be all right just to kind of, you know, see where we wanna go with this thing. That's now no good. So, I mean, it'll be all right. We'll just kind of hang out for a little bit and start working on other little things while I decide. Now that we got everything out, I'm gonna patch up that oil pan tomorrow, probably. Not gonna throw the engine back in right away because I'm probably gonna I want to do a tubular K-member. So, gonna hold off on it for now. We'll see if it's in the cards. If not, I mean, I might just patch it up, throw it back in the car, find a transmission, or maybe I'll rebuild this transmission. So anyway, guys, check out the next video to see the progress on it. If you like the video, be sure to give it a like. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, follow the build. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.